Leading the break, Kowalski Sports Headlines. Week 2 of this. I think it went okay last week.
I liked it.
I liked how you panned on Matt at one point in time to get his reaction on Brad Ausmus.
Yep.
That was good.
Because he's going to be the new manager, right? New coach. So
yeah, Matt Scherr is actually in the discussion.
Yep. It's Matt Scherr, Don Kelly, and Buck Disligo.
And Matt Scherr again.
Yeah, Matt actually
a third one?
Matt got 2 interviews for the job. But, all right, here we go. Don't have that many. Oh, wow, it all fits on one page. If I learn. There it is. All right, here we go. Dwayne Wade agrees to a buyout and joins the Cleveland Cavaliers. Poor Kyrie Irving. Poor Kyrie. Just when you think the Celtics are going to win the East, just no. I don't know what happened, but I was going to talk about Delta. Delta Pioneers won both games this week. They won 4-1 on Wednesday. They won 6-0 today. So they had 16 shots on Wednesday.
I was going to ask how many.
I don't know how many they had today. I did not look at the box score. So, Delta Pioneers. They play Schoolcraft in 2 weeks. That's a big game. That's a big game. We should broadcast live on Sloppy Joe's.
We should.
I don't know how to do that. I'm going to be at Meyer for the second half of the game. So, we'll just flip. Go Meyer. Okay. Rick Pitino got fired, so that's cool. I mean,
it's about time.
I don't know how he had a job for any of the last 7 seasons, but he got fired, so that's nice. USC lost to Washington State. We're going to talk about that here in about 7 minutes.
Yes. I was rooting for it the whole time.
I know.
Let's go.
My
Cougars!
My notes actually say Ben said Washington State would be good last year, and he was only 1 year off.
Yep, only 1 year off.
When you wrote that piece for Proc, you said look out for the Cougars.
Look out for the Cougars, man.
Look out for them now.
Yeah.
You got Dak Prescott, the Cougars.
I'm on fire, man.
You're on fire and you're born to run.
ESPN should hire me.
ESPN. Hey, they fired Jason.
There's an opening?
There's an
opening. Apply.
All right, let's do it. Alex Bowman, the driver tapped to replace Dale Jr. in the 88, got 2 race Xfinity race contract with Chip Ganassi, kind of help gear him up for next year. CMU update. They still suck. Moving on. Stan Van Gundy, in his infinite wisdom, wants to eliminate the draft, which means the Pistons would no longer have talent on their roster, because who's the last free agent that wanted to play for the Pistons? 04?
Me.
Ben Sheehan in NBA 2K18, a game that Ben will not buy.
Nope.
Is the only free agent.
Not at least until 2020.
Not even then.
Yeah.
Let's not lie to the people. And finally, Andrew Romine today and yesterday on the show, but for right now, Facebook Live, today, Andrew Romine's going to play all 9. But Brad Ausmus couldn't even get that decision right.
Oh, God.
And we'll talk about that on the show tomorrow. So there's a little teaser for you. So, leading the break, we don't have any guests like I said. So, we got our rants coming up. We'll be right back. So, I created a way.
Richard, you don't hit a third arm yet? I thought it was coming in the mail this week.
I'm not going to lie. I could try and reach my foot. There you go. Foot didn't reach the camera there, but they can imagine that my foot was... It was up, okay? All right.
Where is he now? Is he
no
pitching?
clue. No clue. He might be teaching 8th grade, to be honest.
He is. He's teaching 8th grade Earth Science at a high school in Ohio.
Wow, that's
Good to know. Ben Sheehan driving knowledge bombs, baby.
That's actually not true whatsoever. I totally made that up.
Considering 8th grade's at the high
Don't
school
try to
level,
find Mr. Weinstein.
If Dave Clark is the manager of this team next year, I'm going to type up my resignation at the fan.
Oh, no.
Mail it to Avila and be like, thank you for the time of my 23 years as a fan. I have officially resigned. All right, folks, leading the break, episode 5.
Woo!
Here we are.
We did it.
Here alongside Ben, Richard along his side, which is across from my side.
Nice.
There are too many sides here, but we can always add more.
I think we're going to talk some sports today.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what we're going to do? Sports?
Yeah, I don't see any politics on the podcast today, so we're good.
Oh.
Sorry, this isn't Sheehanigans again. We're not going to do that 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. That got real weird.
And probably not going to talk about the weather. Leave that to the weathermen.
Yeah.
So,
Although it is beautiful outside.
it's so nice out. What a nice view of the curtain. If you're watching, I have a nice view of the white wall.
Yep.
Nice little clock.
My apartment's a jail cell, unfortunately.
There's one poster in this fucking place, and it's right here.
Well, this
is the only thing on the wall.
I could bring out the other one, but like that's not.
We can't like do that. No. We can't.
It'd be too scary. People would stop watching.
We need more.
Yeah, more posters. We should start ordering.
No, we need more people.
More people.
We can't scare them. We can use posters too. Yeah. Okay.
Jail cell. Talking about sports.
Let's start the show. I want to see how many subscribers we have.
We're going to start off talking college football. I'm going to talk about USC and how I think they're the most overrated top 10 school in the top 10. Said that after the Western lost, and they confirmed that with a loss last night at Washington State, who is top 20 school, who will probably move into top 12. I don't think they'll break the top 10, depending on what happens. Mm-hmm. But Sam Darnold and USC lost. He threw for 164 yards, 0 TDs. 1 interception.
Good game.
And they're scheduled.
And a fumble.
A
late fumble.
That cost them the game. That sealed the victory for Washington State. They had the chance to take the lead. Yep. And costly turnover cost them the game. USC plays, I do believe, at the moment, 3 more ranked schools. That could change based on how they do. They're not making the playoffs, in my opinion. I thought they could have. It's a must-win. They have to win out to win the playoffs, in my opinion. Not going to happen. USC, overrated. They're not going to finish top 15. You heard it here first. On to Ben.
I don't know. For those of you who have a Netflix account, you might have seen the docuseries Last Chance U, which is all about Division I athletes who mess up, who do something wrong in they're on their road to professional football or on their way through college, however you want to deal with it. But essentially, it follows Eastern Mississippi Community College, where a lot of these athletes go, and it basically just gives them a second chance. And for me, I understand, well, for all of us, we understand what it's like to go through school and also play sports. I mean, maybe not at the collegiate level like some of these guys do, but how much it means to a person to be out there just competing and how that will affect your mindset. And honestly, I love it. I love that they're taking guys that were caught with pot several times, or some guy that got in a fight at a bar, and they basically just say, this is your last chance. If you mess up again, you're done. You can't transfer. You're not going to be able to do it. And I think it's a great program. I think there should be more schools out there that are willing to do that and take on these players and help reform them into be the young men that they actually are. Because in a lot of cases, you don't see what these people actually are like. You just see this man robbed a store, this guy smoked pot. Like,
they get caught when they're 15, 16 years old. They don't. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're young at that age.
Yeah.
And sometimes they need a second chance. And some of these players didn't go on to go pro.
Mm-hmm. So, LeGarrette Blount was was an Eastern Mississippi Community College graduate, and he is now the running back in England. So
Eagles.
Oh, is it the Eagles now? I don't follow it. People invite stuff.
It's a risk though for the college.
Oh no, it's definitely a big risk.
I'm not saying like not to jump out as I hate it.
Yeah. When you watch the show, you see how aggressive and how tough these coaches are on them, and how tough the school the program is, the academic side of it is, how tough it is on these guys, and it really puts a lot of pressure on them. But the ones who succeed through that, a lot of them go back to Division I. John Franklin III was one of those guys, and DeAndre Johnson.
Johnson went to. John Franklin went to Auburn, right?
Yeah, he ended up going to Auburn. Yeah. He was quarterback at Florida State, went to EMCC, transferred to Auburn. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened to DeAndre Johnson. I still need to finish the show. But
yeah, that's fair. Are they on second season now?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Third season should be out next year, hopefully. I'd love to see more of it. I'm addicted.
All right.
Richard,
you're up 3. Today's Saturday. So 2 nights ago, my days are just, they don't even exist anymore. Mm-hmm. So 2 nights ago, the Bears got embarrassed with Tony Romo in the booth. By the way, let's pause the rant. Tony Romo's fucking fantastic. Oh my God, he is unreal.
He is calling every play before the play happens.
So just on the field,
accurately.
He's great. So just on the field, he's a joke.
He's not a joke on the field.
He just didn't have a line that could protect him, and he couldn't stay healthy.
That's fair.
Just because you are in love with Dak Prescott, who is playing terribly this year, does not mean
I loved him last year.
That does not mean that Tony Romo did not have a good career.
I love how that played out, though. They just
I know.
flashed the numbers at the bar. Dak Prescott will take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl.
The dude went like 4 for 4 with like 8 yards in a preseason game.
No.
Like, that's elite.
No,
Is he
like,
elite? He's gonna pass Romo
It
and
was
win
like-
the Super Bowl.
he was like
Almost
12
had-
for 14 with like 400 yards. It was
That's
insane.
Not in the preseason game. Maybe in the preseason.
It might have been the whole preseason. It might have been the whole preseason. I don't know. I saw the numbers and I started yelling.
And you were
And I was
drinking adult water.
I was
at
drinking
the
adult
Kelly's.
waters.
I think we talked about that one of the shows. But anyway, Thursday Night Football. Tony Romo was very critical of Danny Trevathan and his attempted murder. That's what it was. Yep. There's just no other way to say it. He literally attempted to end the life of Davante Adams, which the whole play, like, I think there's no way to excuse what happened. There's no defense for what happened. But you can't even make a case that he was trying to make a football play because his momentum was going backwards. The play was made. Yeah, I'll explain the play. It was it like a middle screen, I do believe, to Davante Adams. He got wrapped up by Adrian Amos, the defensive back, played at Penn State. Wrapped him up and was driving him backwards. And while he was up, there's actually a shot of Davante Adams turning and looking, and he literally faced Danny Trevathan murder him. And while he was getting wrapped up and driven backwards, Danny Trevathan came in from this side. Adams was coming backwards. Came in and just face-to-face, crown of the helmet.
big helmet to helmet.
It knocked him out immediately because he lost the ability to grip the mouth guard that was in his... that he was
Biting
eating,
down on, yeah.
biting. Yeah. He literally... it went flying. When I first saw it, I thought it was like one of the ear pads because we play football. Those things don't stay on.
No, they don't. No.
You get hit in the ear, they're
Snapping
gone.
ones.
Yeah,
You shake your helmet wrong, they fall out.
it's true.
And then you got.
I would assume the NFL has better helmets than that. We did at the freshman level at Holly High, but either way, the technology on ear pads isn't great. So I was like, oh, it's an ear pad. Nope, that was a mouth guard.
Yep.
And probably
It's
a couple
terrifying.
teeth, too.
I've never been hit so hard that I lose track of my mouth guard. I've never been hit that hard.
No.
I've never hit anyone that hard.
Nah.
I don't think I
I've
could.
definitely never hit anybody that
I don't
hard.
think I could hit
Except for
anyone
that 67-pound D tackle they tried to throw at me when we were getting murdered by West. And I threw him through the ground. And then they put the starter in the next play.
Yep.
I was like, come on.
Come
We're down by
on.
30. I can't have a little fun. And then I got hurt in that game, too. So
Yeah.
that was great.
Put me in,
Karma.
coach. Karma.
I know. Yeah, I drove a kid through the ground, made him cry.
Yep.
And then my body went through the ground, and my shoulder went a different way. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
It was you and Marty, I think, when we were in the locker room that had to take my pads off because I couldn't actually lift my arm over my
It
head.
probably was.
I know it was
yeah.
Marty, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it
definitely
was
Marty.
you.
It was
'cause I
either
think
me
we were all in that same corner.
Yeah, it was either me or Chris.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was,
Yeah.
but Chris, if you're watching, come visit us.
It's true.
We miss you.
Might be playing euchre with Chris, depending on if Meyer can give me 2 days off in a row in a couple weeks. So
Euchre tournament.
give me a baseball fundraiser. It's gonna be fun. But it was just indefensible. And it's hits like that when you're watching at home, when you're a parent who's watching at home, and you see plays like that, and whether it's right or wrong, but you see a play like that, and you don't want your kid anywhere near that.
Right.
I wouldn't want my future more than likely non-existent kid to play if that's where the game's going to go.
That's true.
And it's definitely trending that way. Even the more safe they make it,
Right.
everybody's getting faster and more physical, and those plays are still going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see studies with CTE, 110 out of 111 players, including punters. We see that Aaron Hernandez, we talked about last week, had stage 3 at 27.
Do you think players would be less prone to have those hits if they took more of the collegiate route where even if it's the slightest way of targeting, the player's gone? Because when you eject a player in college
It's
football,
a big loss.
it is. You eject an NFL player, that could be your entire team.
Mm-hmm. And especially
so-
in college, you can have 90 active.
Right.
In the NFL, you get 46.
Exactly. And
You lose one, you might be only down. You lose a safety, you might be down to 3 for the whole game. Some teams, you might be down to 2.
And if you lose,
You play with 2 safeties.
lose your starting safety, you just go to the opposite side of the other safety.
Mm-hmm.
That's a loss.
I don't think that would hurt. It's just like these guys like James Harrison, apparently Danny Trevathan now.
Yeah.
Vontez Perfect, who's probably one of the worst human beings ever. These guys, they're just not. They're not going to stop.
No, they're going to keep.
And to my dad's point, because Mark Cuban, I don't know if you know the comp. Mark Cuban said that the NFL would be dead within 10 years, and I want to say he made that 4 or 5 years ago. And when he made that comment, everybody was like, myself included, I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I remember you
about
saying
last year. I was like, Mark Cuban might not be right, but I don't think he's going to be too far off because. And my dad disagrees, and he says, the NFL may not it may not disappear, but you may not get the same quality of athletes in the NFL. Baseball is going to see an up. You're going to see soccer, hopefully.
I think soccer.
I mean, especially with the style of game, like an athlete that's good at football would be good at soccer. It's the same fundamental skills. Not linemen. They could go to rugby. Rugby would get a boost.
Oh, yeah.
Rugby would get a big boost.
I would love to see American rugby. It'd be great.
And rugby probably has CTE. All sports probably do.
Mm-hmm.
But football is the one that just didn't do anything about it for so long.
And it's going to be our generation. It's going to we look at these hits and we see these studies come out, and we have to ask ourselves: do we want our kids taking these hits? Because these athletes are getting stronger, are getting faster. What's it going to be like in 15 to 20 years when our kids are going to be playing at a college level? You get a hit, and they can break a neck and die.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, at what point does the football just? I mean, you can't eliminate the tackling, but how do you prevent it? Because you got these guys that are such in the moment, I think, but you can't hit someone's head. And I mean, what more do you do without making the sport weak, without making it a non-contact sport? So it's definitely declining because with more and more studies coming out, no one wants to die at the age of 50, let alone a parent risk their kid getting injured or fatality dying.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I think we should do is just go straight back to the leather helmets. Just leather helmets, no mask.
Don't let them fool you. What Ben really wants is everybody to start playing lacrosse.
That is what I really want is lacrosse. I love lacrosse. You ever watch a lacrosse game?
Here we go.
It's fast.
Here we go.
Hard hitting. You ever hit anyone with a stick before?
No.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good.
Tell them.
Feels good.
Right now. 20-second PSA.
20-second PSA. Go. Lacrosse needs to rise in this country.
Oh, right. That was a quick 20 seconds. Wow.
So
yeah, we're at that point in the show.
We're starting to get derailed, and that's all because of me.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
If Ben ever posts our Shehanigans episodes that he promised,
I don't know what's happening.
It's because Ben doesn't know how to use it.
I don't even know. And I was the tech guy. The original conversation had me as the tech guy, and I don't know what anything's going on.
Hey, Jeff, if you're watching, this is who you wanted as the tech guy. He can't even upload a video to YouTube.
I'm just going to drink.
YouTube.
You know who else is probably going to be drinking a lot? Rick Pitino, because he is out of a job.
That's true.
Maybe
we'll talk about that when we come back. There's a little teaser for you. Look at you. You're getting good at this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Leading the break, episode 5. Woo! So.
Remember, this is half your fault. You remember?
Boy!
Half of this is your fault.
How? How is half of it my fault?
What happened? We were uploading to Facebook, and
I didn't have anything to do with that. It said it successfully uploaded.
It did?
Yeah, it said it successfully uploaded.
So that's on Facebook somewhere.
Or maybe Facebook fucked up. Anyway,
Mark
we're
Zuckerberg.
not here to roast how shitty Facebook is. We're here to roast Ben for his inability to log into a YouTube account from the computer because he didn't have a phone.
All he had to do was text me. Because I believe the phone's in it's my phone, I do believe. Because I've been posting, tomorrow will be 5 Shehanigans. Or 5 leading the break videos.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is text me.
Be
like, hey,
Ben right here.
I'm going to put a code.
What?
What are you doing?
What is this?
I'll take control for 4 seconds. So Shehanigans.
I drew a sketch of Ben. You can zoom in on it. It's just a little stick figure with a snapback on it. It says,
I'm a dummy.
Wait, can they zoom in? It's YouTube. It's not that fancy.
I guess if you like...
Just go run up to the camera.
Wait, hang on.
Oh, no.
No. We can't show that. No, we can't show that.
Oh, no.
So anyway, leave it to the imagination. Now he doesn't have legs.
So Shehanigans, check it out. We haven't uploaded the first episode yet. We were supposed to, but we ran into some technical difficulties. So make sure you check out Shehanigans every Tuesday and Thursday whenever we start uploading those. We got a backlog of videos. They're going to be coming at you left, right, up, down, square, left, right, start, stop.
I'm pretty sure they don't have to film for 2 weeks. That's how many videos they have.
Oh, we don't. We absolutely do not have to film for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Even if they do Tuesday, Thursday.
we have a Tuesday, we have a Thursday, we have Tuesday, so we would need to film the second week because we don't have a fourth episode.
Wrong on what episode?
We don't have a fourth episode, but we
So
have
for a week and a half. So we got a backlog. We got a week and a half backlog, so that'll be good considering there's some more editing to do.
Yep.
So again, Shehanigans.
Check us out.
Check it out at some point. Check it out or don't. We just actually check it out. It's
we
a lot
would
of fun.
we like to see how fun we are.
Sloppy Joes.
And we are back.
We're back.
Leading the break, episode 5.
How about?
We got some big news here for you guys. By big news, I mean little news that we are going to blow up to make it look like big news. No. But
Oh!
finish your drinks.
You didn't get water in the commercial break.
Mama didn't raise no quit. I didn't either. We all messed up. We all messed up.
And they made fun of me for bringing my own water there.
That's
So what do we got, Rich? Rick Pitino?
Rick Pitino.
What took him so long to get fired?
How long have we known about his...
At least a year. Longer.
It just feels like it goes back to, what was it, like 2008 when he banged the chick in the restaurant?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Props to him.
It was like 2008. He was in a restaurant in like Louisville and he was hitting on the waitress and they had sex and according to Rick Pitino it lasted only 3 seconds.
Poor Rick.
Which, bravo. He got his time down. He got his time down.
The less time you use making love, the more time you can use being a good coach.
Get in, get out.
Get in, get out.
Get in, get out, baby.
what just happened?
I don't. If you watched our first episode, Jeff Frary was on.
Yeah.
We love Jeff.
Oh,
And the whole weekend he was up here. He was talking about getting your time down with the ladies. Not up, down.
Yeah, so that's a shout out to him.
So I don't think Jeff's watching, but if he is, he's going to text us. Be like, guys!
Yep. We have love for you, Jeff.
All right, let's... Why
let's
did it take them 5, 6, 12... Why? So long. I don't understand.
The only thing that I can think of is they want to give him a fair trial, I guess. A fair look. We want like a fair look into what was going on. But either way, that's not ending well. It should have taken, 9 years now?
Since his first incident. I mean, that first one isn't fireable. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
a lot of coaches out there probably banging other people.
Yeah.
But
his name, what he did for this team too. I mean, he brought him to a national title, won a national title,
it's true.
and
All because of sports.
I do agree. I mean, it's hard to get that evidence out. You gotta, in order to fire someone over this or even make a case, you have to have evidence on evidence on evidence. You gotta get witnesses. I mean, it's not something that you get overnight.
Right.
Should it have taken 9 years? Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, he's now gone, and respectively so. So
Now, death penalty for Louisville.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
I read an article, and that's why this topic was brought up, about how Louisville could get the death penalty. We saw what it did to SMU. It just destroyed the program.
I don't think it's fair to those players. I don't think the players.
Well, they would get to transfer, I do believe. Right. And I don't think they'd have to sit out a year.
In that case, then
So be it.
It's hard because you don't want to let one man, his mistake, like terrible what he did, but you don't want him to take away the history that school has had, and you don't want him to take away the present of what that school has had. But nonetheless, if that's what they did, I don't think a lot of people in America would be sad, let alone any of us three.
I know. You gotta think, they fired him, they fired the AD. If the president doesn't get fired, they should just shut the whole university down.
Right.
I don't care who you are. Because something to that magnitude, and you let them hang around.
And
you basically threw your chips in the ring, and you said, look, if you're not guilty, it's good. We're going to win a lot of games. We're going to do all the right things. But on the court, but if you are guilty, which, I mean, clearly it's taken a turn to where they felt they had to distance themselves from him.
Yeah.
And they knew about this. That's the thing. And no matter how successful someone is on the court, this is such a big issue off the court that it shouldn't be taken lightly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, it's sports, and yes, you're bringing wins to a team, but lives are being destroyed.
Yes.
And at what point do you cross the line?
Mm-hmm.
Or draw the line, per se.
Mm-hmm.
So, death to Louisville, I mean, that might be a bit extensive, but
Yeah,
find out in a few years, I would say.
I would say it's kind of extensive to just let that, to kill the program, essentially, but I don't know. That's how it feels like. I don't know.
It's also one of these things where Louisville is now going to be looked at, and they're going to be remembered for this for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years, even possibly. I mean, even look at Penn State. While they're doing great, when you hear Penn State,
You think of Jerry Sandusky.
that's the first thing you think of.
When you talk
And
about
that's-
Ohio State, you think about selling your rings for tattoos.
So, but I mean,
Are you gonna want to send the kid there to Louisville right now?
right now, absolutely not. I wouldn't even send my kid to Penn State right now, and that's what 5 years ago.
And
So-
2 coaches ago, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what's it going to take for Louisville? I don't know yet. I guess I'd have to sleep on it,
That's fair.
think about it some more.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, Ben.
More basketball.
Ben, you're one of the few NBA guys we actually know.
Yeah.
I talked about it in the Kowalski sports headlines.
Kevin Garnett.
Yes. D-Wade Kevin
Yes,
Garnett
like-
works for TNT now, and it's
Yeah.
whatever.
KG was for TNT.
Just weird.
Anyways, Dwayne Wade.
D-Wade got his buyout finally after the Bulls. Why he signed there, I don't understand, but that's not the point. Hometown, not good enough for me. So he signs with Cleveland. I think that was the least surprising move in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's
Chris
the
Bosh is
sunrise
coming next.
in the morning.
I saw so many of those memes where
Mario
Chris Bosh is like, hey, Dwayne, answer your phone. Hey, don't forget about me. Hey, Mario Chalmers. No, we're not doing that 2 weeks in a row. We're not doing that 2 weeks in a row. We
Shut
can't.
down.
We can't.
Next week, though.
Yeah, we can bring it back. I'll bring my Jay Farrow impression of Stephen A.
So funny.
Good call.
Should be locked in a closet.
Does their reunion now give them? I would assume we're all going to say they're the Kings of the East now.
They were before D-Wade joined. They
Yes.
were not losing to the Celtics
Mhm.
in the final, in the Eastern Conference Finals. With the joining of D-Wade, they might lose one game, maybe 2. I'll give Kyrie 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
in the Eastern.
But in the finals, I mean, who can compete with Golden State?
That's what it comes
I
down to.
still don't think this helps Cleveland.
It's like, yeah, Cleveland will crush the East, but what's going to happen when they meet the West?
To be fair, I don't really know what Dwayne Wade's role is going to be with this team.
And I agree. I mean, the dude
He
dude doesn't have bad talent,
Mhm.
but he's getting older. Did exceptionally great last year, barring he was on a bad team.
He had his highest 3-point percentage last year, which is good. But if you take last year out of it, I think the year before he made 2 threes over the span of 82.
The one thing
Ben could go out and make 2 threes over the span of 82 games. It would take him until game 82 to make the second 3. But
Oh,
he
no,
could.
yeah, no, definitely. It'd be the first game, and then I would just get
He'd
bounced
start out the
all-
season hot and go 1 for 17.
Yep.
And then you go 0 for 30 for the next 80.
More than likely just be so afraid to be the smallest man on the court, be hucking the ball.
Well, that's not true. Isaiah Thomas is 5 inches shorter than you, Ben.
Is he? So
I know.
I would not be the shortest man out there.
Yeah, he's
I
fine.
think if I was in the East, I'd be able to put up a lot of 3-pointers.
and Isaiah Thomas is the one that I'm concerned about in this with D-Wade joining, because you have D-Wade and LeBron, and that chemistry is going to be amazing. I think it's going to be exceptional. But where does this put Isaiah Thomas now? Because he just came in, and with LeBron was supposed to be the 1-2 combo, and now he's that awkward third wheel.
You know what his role is now? Hey, little guy, go stand on the 3-point line. We'll get you the ball, maybe.
Exactly. I mean,
It's like me when I go to the sack. I'm open! Hey! Oh! Okay.
And then when
And I just run and do it again.
it's going
when
to
they
be
actually throw you the
D-Wade
ball,
and
you just
LeBron.
panic. That's what I do. I panic. I have the ball in my hand.
Yeah, I don't see them competing at the level of Gold State. But
I will say,
definitely
if
not.
Derrick Rose can stay healthy, watch out for Sixth Man of the Year. I mean, with him coming off the bench, I
he'll
think
get enough minutes.
I think the battle between Cleveland and Golden State is not going to be their starters. I think their starters match up pretty equal.
Mhm.
It's going to be the battle of the benches. That's why
Yes.
I like this D Wade to Cleveland. I think it strengthens their bench.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I still pick Golden State. I mean it's early, so
Yeah.
I mean I don't know how you pick against Golden State right now. We'll see what happens though.
Yep.
But I think we're going to see the fourth NBA Finals between Cleveland and
I know.
Golden State. So, ooh.
Now, all of our favorite topic, Andrew Romine, playing all 9 positions.
Before I shut down my social medias of looking at them, this was the last thing I saw. Was your post of Andrew Romine's going to play 9. I'm not going to say it didn't put me over the edge, but it didn't stop me from going over the edge. So
I'm probably the only man in the history of sports that loves this move.
What's the dumbest part
okay.
about this? That's what
all right, I'll take this. So
Here we go. Buckle in.
we talked about this earlier in the program. We talk about Brett Auspis in every show, and thankfully we never have to talk about him again after this segment. So that's fantastic. Unless he somehow gets good enough at managing that he beats the Tigers in 2027 when they're relevant again
And then I
for the AL Central crown.
And then I jump off a second-story window to break my leg. Yeah.
All right,
I'd be
2027. Ben's jumping out of a window.
Ben's going to break his leg in
I'd be so
2027.
mad. I would just run through.
And then when he has his
the
inevitable
glass.
heart attack in 2030, he's going to be in the hospital still.
Yep.
So.
And then the second heart attack will come when Brad Auspis comes back for the Tigers.
So, we talked about Brad Auspis and his ineptitude in every episode. And this is probably the dumbest thing he's done. So, Matt and I we haven't disagreed on this topic, but we didn't agree. We disagreed over minor things. Like, I'm excited to see it. I know you're excited to see it. I'm just afraid that this is just a complete and utter clown show at this point. And Matt's in it for the entertainment value, which is fair. This season's lost anyway, so that's, who cares?
The only reason I'm in for him.
But I just don't like the message that you're sending, hey, this season doesn't matter, we're going to do this. And the worst part is, he's doing it on the road, so you can't even make it a goddamn marketing ploy.
Yeah.
You can't even sell tickets.
I would say the same thing is...
And
it's not at home.
that's not even the worst part. So it's not at home. So you're not guaranteed 9 defensive innings.
It's not going to happen.
If the Tigers win today, it would be their second win in this year. It feels like they've won like 6 games this month.
I believe they won on a 9-game losing streak. One then have, I believe, lost 3 cents.
They're 1 in 12 in their last 13 games.
And Andrew Romine will be pitching.
And Andrew Romine's going to get the mound. And I'm not going to lie, he's not even the worst arm we have in the bullpen.
Yeah, in all seriousness, I like that he's playing just for the entertainment, but I do like Richard's point where this is also saying, okay, yes, this season is over. Yes, this team has absolutely nothing to play for. But as fans, you want to see growth. While one game is not going to make or break a player, I mean,
it could break a player literally,
point.
physically.
Touche.
I see your point though.
Right.
It's not like his development isn't
Right.
going to be stuttered, or these young kids isn't going to be stuttered by one game.
But I was expecting to see it at home on the last homestand. I mean, it got announced 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's when we first talked about it.
And to bounce off Richard's point, I just don't see the point of doing it on the road. Who in Minnesota wants to see Romine play all night?
I'll tell you
Actually, probably all of them want to play.
Brian Dozier does, because that dude's going to hit a homer off the damn logo they got on the scoreboard about 560.
Now, I have a question. Is this the start of where baseball becomes the World Wrestling Entertainment?
No.
No? This
No.
is not going to...
No,
more
because-
teams aren't going to see this and see
No,
it
because
impact
not
fans?
every team, if Minnesota has had a sellout this year, they're lying. They're just lying.
It's true, yeah.
They've had a really good year this year, and I still don't know if they sold Target out.
Probably
But-
not.
It'd be different. Is it like if it was at home and you saw a team that's won 60 games get 25,000? Then maybe. But at the end of the day, you don't have this type of versatility around Major League Baseball. Like, there are guys like Romine, Brock Holt, Enrique Hernandez out in L.A. for the Dodgers. You don't have that many more.
I mean, very seldomly do you see a position player pitch.
Hernan Perez in Milwaukee now has been playing second, third, and corner outfield a little bit, but you definitely don't see him on the mound. You rarely see him behind the plate, but you just don't see that overall versatility even.
Now I think that's the only reason I'm excited to see Romine. I'm excited for Romine, I think, more than I am to see it, because I think Romine, in a sense, has deserved this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a fair point.
I mean, Romine, he's probably been one of the hardest working players.
He's been one of the best players on this team.
Yes, he comes every day, not taking away that this team doesn't come to play, but he's not going to play every day, he knows that, and he takes the most out of every opportunity he gets. And today he's going to get to play at least 8 of those positions. Mm-hmm. So as a player, I think it's very rewarding for him. I'm excited to see that. The final score is probably going to be like 22-1. I'm going to give the Tigers a run. It's going to be off Andrew Romine's home run. Mm-hmm. Yep. He's going to do it all.
I would imagine Romine might only pitch 1 out today.
I would imagine that.
Just so they can make, in that 8th inning, so they can make sure he gets all 9 spots. He might pitch 1 out and go catch the other 2.
And knowing how this game will go, it'll be 1-1 in the 8th. And Osmus will wait until it's close instead of, like you said earlier.
He'll bring Romine in with the bases loaded.
With Brian Dozier back.
With Dozier, who's going to hit that 560 bomber.
Jeez.
Let's go to the parking lot.
That's something.
Remember when you liked Brad Osmus?
That was back when dinosaurs were on the earth. Unfortunately, that was halfway through last year.
Oh.
That's true. You were not here this year. You were not on the Osmus train this year.
That's about after
you were like falling off, and then they sent Rondon home, and you just jumped back on. You're like, wait, no! You get one last chance. And then they sucked.
And then they blew it.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ichiro.
Moving on.
Right. Ichiro playing to 50.
I say go for it.
I do too.
I don't know if your body physically can do it. I mean, a 50-year-old playing in a major league sport, it's hard.
Mean, they do it in hockey.
He has almost
he's closed in on 50.
Yager. Did he get a contract? I don't know.
I don't think he did, no.
I know he gave himself one in the team he owns, but Ichiro's a guy. This year, I think he's flirting with all-time pinch hit record.
Uh-huh.
He's 44, I think. Mm-hmm. He's a guy who keeps himself in tremendous shape. Now that's 6 years. That's a long,
a lot happens
time.
in 6 years. Injuries happen.
No matter how good a shape you stay in, your body deteriorates.
Yeah, he's gonna lose. He's going to lose stuff. So it's just a matter of how fast he loses them. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's done.
No, definitely not. I would love to see him.
If I'm my Cleveland Indians, we're going to lose Michael Brantley this year in the offseason, most likely. Because some team is going to look at Michael Brantley and say, we can pay him $20 million. And the Indians are going to be like, we can't. Because I think if I'm Cleveland, I'd rather have Carlos Santana than Brantley. Because Santana's at least proven he can stay healthy. Is Brantley a little more productive? A little. They're both all-star caliber players.
Yeah.
Or at least Brantley's been there. Santana's at least flirted with it.
But that's the problem you get with teams. I mean, when you make barring they don't make the World Series this year, which is possible, but I mean, surely say they will. When you have a team that makes back-to-back World Series,
you got to pay guys.
You got it, yeah. Mm-hmm. You can't pay them all.
Mm-hmm. Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, you got to let someone go. But if you get a World Series title,
it'll be worth it. But Ichiro's a guy. He's not going to have to play every play even on that team.
Jeez. I don't know what's happening.
Bless you.
I'm dying.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, what if Ichiro goes down to the minors? Are we talking, is he going to play in the big leagues till 50, or is he just going to play
if he's going to just run it out until, like, if he just doesn't want to stop playing, he could easily play till 50. Some independent, the Sugarland Skeeters, or whatever team Roger Clemens came back for. Mm-hmm. There are teams that are going to want to sign him just for the promotional value.
People will come and watch him.
So
Right?
if he wants to go down that road, he'll easily make it to 50. But I don't know if he can make it in the MLB at 50. I just don't. We'll see, though. We'll see. Because there has not been a whole lot of athletes that have taken better care of themselves than Ichiro.
True.
In his years.
And it's not like he's performing bad.
He's not. He had probably the worst start to his career this year. He was hitting like 092 at the end of April. And what he had power, he had like 2 game-winning homers. That's not Ichiro. Then I think he kind of simplified things, got back to it, and now he's closing out on the pinch hit record. So I thought it was going to be the end when he had that slow start. I was like, you know what? He's an expiring contract. Miami's got 3 studs. I don't know. Didn't look good for him, but he's got a chance. He's got a chance. I would be stunned if he wasn't playing Major League Baseball next year. Cleveland signed him. Heck, Detroit signed him.
Let's do it.
When Castellanos falls on himself in right field, you're going to need somebody.
Hey, I've liked what I've seen from Nick in right field.
He's all right. He's all right, but
Develop.
maybe Victor Martinez never comes back, and we don't even have to have Nick in right field.
Right.
Well, that's Tigers baseball. We'll talk about them next year.
That's fair.
Right. Right now we're on the Dodgers. Clinching home field advantage.
We're talking about them because they didn't lose 97 games this year. Instead, they won 97 plus 5 more.
Mm-hmm. Yep. With 2 to go.
2 to go.
Dodgers clinch home field advantage throughout the NL. Is this, Richard, what they need to finally make it to the World Series, or are they getting bounced?
I have absolutely no idea. And in about 5 minutes, we're going to make our picks on the National League, and I still don't know what I'm going to do.
I know I've got every scenario for the AL played out.
I know what I'm going to do in the AL.
I don't know squat for the NL. And a big part of that is I want to see what the Dodgers do in the next 2 days. Because I think if they can clinch the best overall record, that gives them that momentum, gives them that boost.
That would force the American League team, that game 5 would be without, or I'm sorry, it would be 1, 2, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
You'd have 4 games without the DH.
Which would be huge. Because that's how Cleveland got to the World Series last year with that DH.
Yep. Because Cleveland's lineup, you wouldn't have the guy we just talked about. You wouldn't have Carlos Santana in that lineup.
Which is huge.
And earlier in the year when they didn't have Jay Bruce, they threw him out in right field. You going to take Jay Bruce out of the lineup? If you do, you deserve to lose.
Right.
Especially the way he's hitting.
He has brought so much to that team.
And that's one small interesting thing that I'm curious about the Indians. Michael Brantley's playing. He's doing simulated stuff. He's doing baseball activities. Where's he going to play? Not like he's not going to be in the lineup, but who's going to be out? Because they've had Kipnis out in center field. Are they going to move him back to second? Are they going to put Chisenhall in center?
It's got to be
played center.
Starting.
Mike Brantley can play center field. He was a center fielder when the Indians acquired him in the Sabathia trade.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a very good problem to have, but at the end of the day, you don't want to make the wrong choice. And Giovanni Urshela at third base is one of the best defensive third basemen in baseball. He won't get Gold Glove votes because he doesn't play enough, and he spent 3 months in the minors. But there's not a bit. Manny Machado could pick it better. Arenado's probably a little better, and I'd probably take Giovanni over everybody else at third base.
There's not a whole lot of studs at third base now.
That's true.
You don't have a whole lot. Then, taking the Dodgers to win the NL this year, get back to the World Series, or are you taking them back-to-back champs? Or are you going to take the Nationals, who a lot of people picked?
Or the wild card.
Which the Giants won the World Series off a wild card.
They did.
Which we will find out either today or tomorrow.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't follow baseball. You guys know this.
Right,
Put me on the spot.
Throw a yes or no out there.
Yes, we'll say yes.
The Dodgers are going to the World
Dodgers
Series.
are doing it.
Then.
For the first
From
time
them.
in a long time, since '89, I think.
Yep.
With Gibson.
I'm also taking the Dodgers. I don't like the talent in the NL. I mean, I don't think Washington's anything special. The Cubs have been... They won the NL Central. Compared to last year, they've been so-so. I'm not big on them. And whether it be the Rockies or the Brewers, I don't see either one of them really contending with the Dodgers. And they've won 102 games thus far, possibly 104.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do think they have what it can take to get to the World Series this year. I like that staff. I like Kershaw, the beast. So, I'm taking the Dodgers coming out of the NL.
Do you trust Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager?
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I assumed.
That's what I was saying about that.
Because I don't know. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Dave Roberts. He's done a fantastic job. I don't think he's going to win NL Manager of the Year, but that's not his fault. He did what he could do. They won 102 more. We'll say that he splits with the Rockies these last 2, wins 103 games. It's a pretty good year.
It is.
But if Buddy Black doesn't win the Manager of the Year award, the whole thing's rigged.
everything's rigged anyway.
There's only 2 people, I think, in the world that thought the Rockies could make the playoffs this year. And they're sitting on this panel right now.
I would like to say I made my picks in April saying the Rockies would claim a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I will go find those picks.
I'm pretty sure I did too.
We did.
I'm pretty sure I said Diamondbacks too, but don't quote me.
I don't remember. I know for a fact I said the Rockies.
I don't remember.
Hours of scrolling on Twitter to find.
No, I have screenshots on my.
I have screenshots as well.
Yeah. Very good.
We'll have to pull them back.
I'm gonna.
Is it a matter of do you trust Dave Roberts or do you?
You know who I'm going with? Here's my decision. Dusty Baker doesn't have a contract for next year. Dusty Baker's 175 years old. He may not make it through the postseason.
That's sad. That's correct.
But if he does, he's one of the best managers the game's ever seen.
Oh yeah, I mean
Bryce Harper's healthy. Is he Bryce Harper? No idea. No idea. But he's still a presence in that lineup. Mm-hmm. And no matter where they hit him, you got to make a decision. Am I going to throw pitches to Bryce Harper, or am I going to throw him to? He hit 2 yesterday. So am I going to throw him to Murphy if they haven't hit third? Or Ryan Zimmerman. Ryan Zimmerman's got like 36 home runs this year. Do you really want to pitch to him? No. You want to pitch to Murphy? Definitely not. Mm-hmm. Harper? No. That's too deep.
That's why Harper being on this team makes such a difference for the Nationals. So, I don't...
The Dodgers' best player is a rookie.
Who?
Has never played this many games in a season. He's a stud. He's a stud. But when you get... It's with pitchers. It's with everybody. And your college seasons are like 60 games.
You need playoff experience.
That's fair, too.
I mean, the postseason experience is something that... I mean, that's why you see young teams. That's why I can't take the Diamondbacks or the Rockies or Brewers. They just don't have that experience. I mean, the Dodgers have been there 5 straight years now, so they got to get over the hump at some point. So, taking them.
Who do we got in the AL? Well, we'll do this first. Wild card games. I think we're all going to say the same thing. So I'm assuming we're all going Diamondbacks.
Going Diamondbacks, sure.
And I think we're going to go the Yankees over the Twins.
Yes.
I'm taking the Yankees as well.
Yeah. So we'll just get that out of the way. Might as well not waste time. Mm-hmm. So, the American League. This is more wide open, or not as wide open. I think there's really only 2 teams that can come out of the AL. As you could honestly make a case for 4 of the 5 in the NL. Because if the Diamondbacks win that wild card game.
I mean, JD has been a monster for that team. I mean, if they
Just
stay with it, JD is one swing away from getting a team to the next round of the playoffs.
JD Martinez could very easily finish in the top 5 of the NL MVP voting, and his first game in the NL was July 28th or something.
Which is, I think he has over 20 home runs since joining the Diamondbacks.
I think he hit more than he did with Detroit.
That is
he had 16
insane.
In the month of September, which tied the record.
And they acquired him because they wanted him to help with that team. And
to hit Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs.
And Zach Greinke's not a bad pitcher either.
No.
So
that's the problem. It's to pick them, you have to trust the rest of that staff because you'd only get Greinke once in the NLDS because he'd have to pitch the wild card game.
Yep.
Or does Torey Lovullo, their tremendous coach, Lovullo, I don't know, their manager, does he have the stones to say, no, we're just not rolling with Greinke today in the wild card game in a do or die? Don't think you can do that.
Not against the Dodgers, you can't.
Don't think you can do that. But
not the Dodgers.
Even the Rockies could break too. So, but I think we'll just save time. Indians and Astros in the ALCS. I think we're all going there.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm going there. I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
So the only reason that I don't even know how it happened. The only reason I would even think about taking the Yankees over the Indians is if I got hit in the head about 20 times, and Aaron Judge just goes on a tear. But Aaron Judge can't beat the Indians 4 times.
I don't think so.
And the Red Sox, they started out hot, but I think between Verlander and Keuchel alone, I mean, I don't see how they lose 4 times. Mm-hmm. And that offense, they have the best player, and Jose Altuve. Mm-hmm. Joyce Springer's not bad. He's not having the season he had last year.
Altuve should be the MVP.
I agree, but somehow Mike Trout's in it and talks for it. I don't know how Mike Trout is in talks for MVP when he's played like 10 games this season, but he's still in talks. With nothing against Mike Trout, but you gotta play.
Your team's not relevant.
Right.
Your team's never relevant. It's no disrespect to him, but it's a completely different atmosphere when you're playing September games that matter than when you're playing against September call-ups.
If Jose Altuve's not in that lineup, now could you make the case that Aaron Judge could be an AL MVP? Because do the Yankees make the playoffs if Judge is not on that team?
With the way the AL turned out, probably. They might not be the number one wild card, but I think they could make. I mean,
I think
I don't want to discredit what Aaron Judge did.
I think you can.
But Aaron Judge also got benched for like a 4-day stretch in the middle of the regular season. So
Right.
they've won games without him.
I think it should be Altuve. Now, is it too early?
Plus, you include base running and defense and
Right.
all aspects of the game. And
I'm
Altuve just destroys
just on surface.
Yeah,
Without looking too deep into it.
that's fair.
So, is it too early to tell right now? Do you want to see what both teams do, or do we have your World Series match?
I'm going to pick Cleveland because that's what I'm from Cleveland. That's what I want to do, and that's completely not objective, and I don't care.
Right.
But you can. They might not even be the favorite. You could make that case. You could make the case they are the favorite, and they're both right. That's like arguing with Ben. Both sides are probably right, or both sides are wrong.
I'm not going to budge.
But neither side has any relevance.
Nope.
Like
it's exactly how it goes, actually.
I
But yeah, I would like to see Indian Dodgers. That'd be kind of cool.
would as an Indians fan, I would love to see Indians Dodgers.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence with Cleveland.
Because I don't want to see those two lefties for the Nationals with all right individuals.
It'd be a nightmare.
As a Tigers fan, I don't want to see Cleveland.
That's fair.
As a baseball fan, I have loved what Cleveland done.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved it. As a Tigers fan, I want to see Houston because of Justin Verlander.
That's fair too.
Yep.
As a baseball fan, I want to see Houston because their city got destroyed by that hurricane, and
They'll rally them so hard.
it would be more than sports at that moment. 2011, they lost 101 games. To bounce back 6 years later and to go to the World Series, I mean, I think that's amazing for a team to turn around that quick.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be upset either way if it's Cleveland or Houston. I can't pick yet because before Cleveland went on their streak, I thought Houston was the favorite.
I agree.
Now I think Cleveland took that role. My only fear with Cleveland is a team can only stay hot so long.
Mm-hmm.
That's proven. My only problem I have with them is they get hot too quick. That's the only because Houston hasn't cooled down. They haven't really heated up. They played how they should play, and not taking anything away from Cleveland. I think they've lost 4 games this month.
I know.
So they very well could run through the playoffs. It's hard for a team to sustain what they've done. But if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be this team, especially after the way they lost that World Series to come back in the 9th just to lose in the 10th in Game 7 against the team that everyone in the world wanted them to win,
even in their stadium.
Right. So Cleveland's playing with a fire lit. So I think
my biggest concern is who plays in center field. Because Jason Kipnis played there in college. He's not been in college for like a long time, 8 years roughly. He's been in college. Lonnie Chisenhall is not a plus defender in center field. Michael Brantley's a plus defender in left, but not in center field. He doesn't have the range.
Now, are you...
Bradley Zimmer's hurt. He won't be able to play defense. He might make the roster just as a pinch runner, but he broke his wrist. He can't play. Tyler Naquin had literally played himself off the roster with his errors in Game 6 of the World Series last year. You have barely seen him.
Which is really sad because I really liked what
He
I
was
saw from him.
second in the AL Rookie of the Year last year, but he is just an absolute... I haven't said atrocity this whole episode. He's been an atrocity in center field.
Been abysmal. An abysmal performance.
He just has not been good. And he doesn't have the arm for the corner, so he's just got to keep figuring it out. And Bradley Zimmer, his time came, and he took that and ran.
And that could be a problem for... That could be a... You have a good problem until it becomes too good of a problem.
Yeah.
Because which bat do you start? I mean, you want to play defensively because you want to save those runs, but you also have to score.
And one guy we haven't even mentioned, who most likely will probably get the reps in center, at least the majority of them, is Austin Jackson.
Right.
He's probably going to get the majority of the starts, and he hit 300 this year, so it's not like that's a bad thing.
Austin Jackson, he's got the speed, he's got the skill, and as a former Tiger, I'd like to see him win one.
I'm not entirely sure I'd even start Jason Kipnis.
I think you play it out through the ALDS.
I'd use him as the best pinch hitter in baseball, is what he would be. You could just roll him out, and you bring him in the 8th, maybe he can play center field for an inning. But he could be a pretty good pinch hitter.
You're not
he's had a down year. He's been hurt twice, hitting 220.
But he had a catch that could be for catch of the year.
Yeah.
So, up for there. I think the ALDS will say a lot, not in terms of who's going to win, who's going to lose. I think we both know that. I think it's going to... The ALDS will say a lot in terms of what the World Series will be like. The NL, it's not for anybody's grasp. I mean, you can't... When the defending champs go back, you can never discredit them. I mean, they had the same team for the most part without Dexter Fowler. So they very well could make it.
Dexter Fowler did not have a good year this year either.
He did not, which I'm sure every person...
So they're enjoying it. Yeah. So they didn't pay him the money. That was a good call on their part.
All right. That's my favorite time of year. College football in the hardest season. The Lions are good, so it matters. And my favorite postseason, MLB postseason. I love it. So it's going to get fun.
All right, we got to get Ben to work.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So let's go.
I was like, I got a half hour, and I still haven't eaten anything yesterday.
Let's go rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
NFL picks right now. These spreads are up to date as of 4 o'clock on Saturday when we started our pre-production for the show. That's right. Let's look. So here we go. Bills at Falcons. Falcons favored by 8. That's a tricky spread. 8. Matt.
I'm going to take the Bills.
Wowzers. There's your first Wowzers bomb of the day. Wowzers.
Falcons played like crap against the Lions. I'll take the Bills as well.
What is happening?
That's what's happening.
Dad,
Bills.
It's the Bills! The Bills are going to win! First time we've heard that one today. Dad, I love you. But your Bills are going to get destroyed by the Falcons. It's in Mercedes-Benz.
It is.
Mr. Kowalski, do not listen to him.
Chick-fil-A's not open, so the Falcons are going to be pissed. God. I'm going to do some water here.
Is Chick-fil-A, is it headquartered in Atlanta?
I think so. Oh, okay. Which would make sense why they put one in there.
But
I'm going Falcons. So here we go. Cincinnati, 3-point favorites in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll take Cincinnati. The
Browns
are the Browns even when they're at home.
Cincinnati's a dumpster fire. I'm taking the Browns.
Yes!
Let's go.
Yes! Give me the Browns.
Season.
Give me the Browns. I picked them 4 of the 5 weeks this week. We're going Browns. They're getting a win today.
It's happening. I believe it.
Last week, they ended up covering the spread. No, they didn't. They were favored to win. Last week, I was disappointed.
Yep.
Lions on the road at Minnesota, and Minnesota's a 2.5-point favorite. Did I miss something? Case Keenum's playing still. Or is everybody just believing that Case Keenum is this superstar now that he had one good game in the NFL?
After 3 weeks in the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings were the favorite to win the NFC North.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm taking the Lions. They're going to win by over 3 touchdowns.
I will agree because Matthew Stafford is the king of the North. We have the start poster. He's the king of the North.
I picked the Lions now 4 of the 5 games. So.
Yep.
And the one game I did not pick them, Arizona did not cover the spread. So good job. I'm going Lions. Yep. Saints 3-point favorites against Jay Cutler.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Jay Cutler, what happened? Week 1, he led them to a comeback. Week 2, did they even score against the Jets? They lost to the Jets.
Who loses to the Jets?
The Jets.
You know who does? Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler does. Smoking Jay.
Smoking Jay.
I picked him up in one of my fantasy leagues, which I'm 0-3 in, so I'm now...
You're running out of options?
Yeah, him and Andy Dalton.
Got him 2-1.
I would have went Cutler in that scenario, too.
Who are we picking?
Oh, New Orleans by 70.
Is that Miami correct?
Yeah.
It's at Miami. New Orleans by 50. Because it's in Miami.
Because Drew Brees.
Yeah,
Drew Brees passes Drew Brees and he comes down with
going to take Miami
Wowzers.
for 2 reasons. One, well, it depends on if J.J. is playing. He is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to be questionable every game of the season. But that Saints defense is trash. Richard, you could throw for 500 yards against that defense.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think Jay Cutler could, though.
Valid point.
Sorry, Jay.
Steelers are 3-point favorites on the road in Baltimore, and I feel like the Steelers have been the most disrespected team by the spread this year.
I think so.
Because let's see, Baltimore went to London and lost by 38.
Oh my goodness!
So
Against the Jags.
I'm thinking like a 17-point win for the Steelers here.
Yep.
This is probably my biggest intrigue game of the week because Ben's not good on the road. This offense has not started rolling. With that being said, I am taking the Steelers as well because the Ravens look terrible.
Rams travel to Jerry World. This spread got really interesting when it got to. It's now 6.5. Started the week at 7, which is the ultimate push spread. Now it's 6.5 for Dallas. Who we got?
Rams have the best defense. I'll give it to the Rams.
Do you know who's really happy about this game? Zeke. Because he's probably going to rush for over 150 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Cowboys win by 14.
And then he doesn't play for the next
And then
6 weeks
Yep.
because he's got his appeal. That being said, I don't know why. I have no reason to. But I went 3-12 last week, so I need the rebound. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
Give me the Rams.
Top-rated defense.
Aaron Donald is back. Aaron Donald's had 10 days off now after playing those back-to-back games pretty much Sunday to Thursday. He said they're a rested team. Todd Gurley carried it a lot last week.
He looks good.
But he looks good. Give me the Rams.
So if the Cowboys lose, is the NFC East up for any grabs for anybody?
No.
With the exception of Giants?
No.
Still taking...
I have to see something from another team in the NFC East.
Right.
I thought maybe the
Redskins
Eagles...
beat Oakland.
They did. And I thought maybe the Eagles had something, but they haven't shown me enough to where I think they could... Even if Dallas goes 9-7, I don't know if any team is going to go past 8-8. So we'll see. That was a huge win for Washington.
That was a very big win.
They needed that. Titans on the road, 2.5-point favorites against the Texans. I feel like this spread's only close because of how Deshaun Watson played last week at Foxborough. I don't think he can do it 2 in a row.
I don't think so either.
I'll take Ben's boy. Marcus Mariota, I'll take him.
Yep.
And I know Ben's going to take him, so I'm not even going to ask him. So, Matt?
I'm taking Tennessee as well. I'm only taking Tennessee because they have the more experienced quarterback by a year. Nonetheless, more experienced quarterback.
Yep.
So, Carolina, Cam Newton is not healthy.
Damn.
He is not healthy. That's it. He's just not healthy.
Right. And none of his offense is healthy.
It's literally just throw it to Christian McCaffrey, run it with Christian McCaffrey, and punt.
Yeah.
That's
Christian McCaffrey is also going to be punting.
He also is the punter. Yes. 9.5 is what New England is favored.
I'm surprised it's not bigger.
To be honest, I picked New England with the big spread last week. I should have known better, but I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
This is the same Carolina team that put up 9 against the Bills.
Yeah. I mean, and Tom Brady's coming off a 5-touchdown performance. Him and Brandon Cooks appeared to find something last week.
Which is good for my fantasy.
Tom Brady's going to tear it up. He's going to tear it up like he does every week.
This is by far the greatest game the NFL has this week. Jaguars 3.5-point favorites in New York against the Jets. These are 2 powerhouse teams.
Oh, dear Lord.
I will pick the Jets 0 times this whole year. 0 times. 0.
You don't ever pick the Jets.
Not going to.
Was it Barstool? Shout out to Barstool. They made that video about being born into a Jets fan. Yeah, that sucks for them. I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Jags just came off a big win, coming back to the States. I'm also taking the Jags. I'm with Richard. I will take the Jets.
Could be a letdown game, though, for Jacksonville. I know we just picked them. We always picked them, but it could be a letdown traveling from London on a normal week.
Could be.
So we'll see. We'll see how it is moving forward with teams after London. I don't know why they don't have a product. I don't know why it was this early, but, nothing the
There's
NFL does
another
make sense.
London game this week.
God. Who?
I don't remember.
Good.
I think it's the Colts, actually. But they play Seattle. That doesn't make sense. I know there's another NFL London game. But
49ers travel to Arizona. 6.5-point favorites are the Cardinals.
I'll stick with the spread.
That didn't answer my question.
that did not answer.
That didn't answer my
I'm
question.
sorry. Cardinals.
There it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm
We're
going to
going to
take
do the
the
same
49ers.
thing. Yeah, we are. We're doing the same thing.
Taking the 49ers.
I picked the 40. I think the 49ers are 2-2 against the spread this year. So
And
they're 3-1.
They don't look terrible. I mean, they're not bad.
No.
And the only reason Arizona looked decent last week is Fitz had his one game he'll have this year with over 100 yards. Because Arizona's, they still don't have an offense. No, Arizona fans, don't get your hopes up. Last week was a fluke. I'm sorry, but it was. And they're probably going to lose this week.
Awesome.
I just got an advertisement in the middle of the show. Eagles go to the soccer stadium to take on the Chargers, where the Chargers are favored. And I'm picking the Eagles just because they're playing a football game at the StubHub Center. That's the only reason. Do I think the Eagles can win this game? Maybe. Not really. But you're playing in a soccer stadium. Come on! Give me the Eagles.
I like the Eagles.
Taking the Eagles as well.
That makes me feel better. Giants, 2 Tampa Bay 3-point favorites are the Buccaneers.
I think the Buccaneers are a joke. Give them the Giants.
Oh my
I think they're a joke.
Giants are getting their first. Giants are not only getting their first win, but if any of the Buccaneers are watching, by the way, thank you.
Thanks for watching. It's
just-
not you.
just
It's
fold.
not you specifically.
fold.
It's just as a team. As a team, it doesn't work.
So it's literally you. Is what he's saying.
No, it's not you individually.
It's you, Dirk Cutter.
Yes.
That's the coach.
Okay, so it's him.
So Ben is on some sort of drug right now. We don't know what it is. I kind of want it because the Giants look like trash. They have this player called Odell. He plays wide receiver, running back, quarterback. Plays defense. The only problem is he can only play one of those.
True.
And when he's not playing the others, they're terrible. I'm taking Tampa by a touchdown and a
Yeah, that would be what 10 is, yes.
half.
Raiders to Denver. So Vegas forgot. So last week, Denver got embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, who are an elite institution of football. They haven't even made the playoffs in this century. But yet, they're apparently well-respected. Well-respected enough to have Denver still being favored in this game, even at home. I don't care that the Raiders scored, 7 last week?
Yep.
Whatever it was? Don't care.
Derek Carr healthy last week?
He was. They just were terrible.
Oh.
Doesn't matter to me. Give me Oakland and Denver. Just go home. You're a joke. Not your defense, though. Trevor Siemian, I'm looking at you. How do you not score against the Bills?
So much anger, so much hatred.
The Bills are bad. Dad, I know you don't want to admit it, but they are.
See, this is where Richard and I disagree for one reason only. I picked up Simeon off waivers.
Wowzers count. We should put a Wowzers count out.
I need him to do something for me. For that reason, I'm taking Denver.
Is this the same league that you had Jay Cutler?
This is the same league.
Oh my God.
I think if Derek Carr puts it, I can't.
The fate of my season is in Jay Cutler and Trevor Simeon's hands.
That's a terrible.
This is why I'm 0-3 and probably won't win a game in this league.
Oh, how much money you got in the league?
We don't discuss it.
Oh no! So it's a lot.
It's over 0.
It's over 0.
Oh.
Well, if Derek Carr can put it together, I'll give it to the Raiders.
Goodness. What's happening? Glad I'm done with those.
Done with the glasses.
Good news is I have
Wowzers.
Amari Cooper and Derek Carr in the league. That does matter.
Okay, good.
So hopefully they win. But it's at Denver. That defense looks great. I'm taking Denver for that.
Colts and Seahawks. Keep in mind, it's a 13-point spread for Seattle.
I don't like Indianapolis. That's just me. And because I don't care about either team right now, I'm going to give it to the spread and go with the Seahawks.
I'm taking Seattle at home. I don't think they're going to cover the spread. The Colts don't look good.
So you take the Colts then.
Well, I'm taking Seattle, but I'm not taking them by 13.
I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Picking the Colts. They're not winning that game, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
13. They won last week. Jacoby looks decent.
Yeah. And Seattle, they had an okay game, but they don't look good. That offense still is not rolling.
Yeah.
They'll win, but not by that margin.
Final game of the weekend. Redskins at Kansas City. And Kansas City's a 7-point favorite.
I like that. I think the Redskins offense, if Jordan Reed can be back, which he did practice, The Redskins came off a good win against Oakland. It's at Kansas City, though, who is not slowing down. That offense keeps going. Good luck stopping Kareem Hunt. But if they can keep him under 100 yards somehow, they have a shot. But that is not this week.
Chiefs rolled week 1. They crushed the Patriots. I think if they get going, the spread will be bigger. I think the Chiefs will win by at least 21.
So who did you have?
Oh yeah, Kansas City.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. All right, I'm going to be the only person to pick Washington. 7 points. Kansas City scares me. It might be a push, to be honest. We all might get this game wrong.
Yeah.
Because 7 might be a good number, but I don't know. I think we're going to get out of here.
Yep.
Thank you for watching.
Leading the break.
Shout out to Jake and Robin. Ball Boys, Delta Soccer. Delta! Go Pioneers.
Shout out to all the grocery stores in Mount Pleasant that haven't kicked me and Rob out permanently. Somehow we managed to break every credit card system that we visit. I don't know how. It just happens. So shout out to all you grocery store guys.
Do you know how? Why do they break everything?
I honestly have no clue. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Me and Rob break everything. So
Shout out.
Matt will now be shaking in fear when he sees us walk into Meyer.
Shout out to these boys. That's all I have a shout out for.
I'm gonna give
Check out Corbin, Ben, Sheehanigans if they know how to upload a video
figure
this
it out.
week. Okay, we'll cut that out. We'll cut that out.
Stop. You want to shout out anybody?
I'm gonna give a shout out to our very own Richard Kowalski. First day at Meyer today.
Yeah!
Yay!
By train by me.
Trained by Matt.
Oh!
Trained by my boss, Matt Sure.
I like it.
I didn't do a whole lot. I stood there and watched you guys.
That's true.
Well, thanks for watching, you guys. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Leading the break. Sloppy Joes.
We need guests. Be on our show.
Please, guest.
Leading the break.
Looking at you, AJ. You're going to be on next week.
That works.
All right. Bye.
Amen.
Goodbye.
I have no more things to throw.